Hi, everybody. I think I'm live right now. Let me pull up the comments just in case so I can see. Um, so I had planned today to go planned. That's a big word. I told myself I was gonna come on 7:30 a.m. Central Time, and it's 7:42. Not so bad. Um, because yesterday um I went live at the time my children were coming downstairs, and that did not work for them. So for the summer, at least, maybe 7:30 a.m. will be my time. And um yeah, I mean, that's fine with me. Um I hope that's fine with you. So I am gonna close my eyes and we're gonna breathe in and out a few times so we can ground and connect to the earth, Mother Earth, and see if we have new information from grounding or just a relaxing sensation of peace. One more time. And out. Now feel the connection with Mother Earth just a little bit. If she makes you smile, that's good, I guess. And let's call all the angels, our spirit guides, our ascended masters, and our multi-dimensional guides. For the highest good, always, of all and everything. I'm including all planets, everything, things and animals and humans and all beings. We're all working together, we're all connected. This is not really a choice. We're influencing each other through energy, through quantum mechanics, through mirroring. And this is what makes life mostly the most beautiful thing. One more big breath. Inhale. Inhale more. Pause. And exhale with a big sigh of relief, of release, whatever you want to call it. And let's ask what we're supposed to talk about today and what we need today, what we need to talk about, what we need to receive. And I hope you all are doing well, and I hope y'all are finding things to be happy about, to be grateful for. And I hope that also, if you're having feelings of anxiety, if your nervous system is on high alert, if you're having feelings that are very uncomfortable, that you can go in with me and work through them through this peaceful group that we have, that I'm dreaming of having, this emotionally safe container community in which we can heal the nervous system and transform our solar plexus, whether you're having it defined or not. This is a wink wink to the human design community. So we can all gain clarity and emotional awareness, spiritual awareness, so that we can all see the signs and synchronicities that keep on happening more and more, because we are entering an era where we will have this new kind of awareness, spirit awareness, whether some people do not believe it or not. This is where we're going. And some of us are more advanced on this journey than others, and some of us are learning. We're all learning. Inevitable. Anyway, so I am seeing the number 44 right now randomly, which means that the angels are here. I don't need to see this to know, but I am seeing it right now. So this is a sign and a synchronicity. So I am gonna take a few seconds or a minute or two to go into silent mode and to bring back whatever it is that we need today. I remember yesterday, just thinking, so hard for me to go silent. But I remember yesterday we talked about fears and the spark and passion and destiny and all of that good stuff. What do we have for us today? Thank you, thank you, thank you for helping me, for helping everyone. And obviously, the first thing that comes to mind is something that I am familiar with, and it is about making choices. I do not know what I'm going to talk about, but this is what my guides have just pushed forward. And we're going to talk about making decisions, making choices. And obviously, the first thing I want to say is, if you know your human design chart, graph, and you know your strategies and authorities, I really think that you should revisit this. And if you don't know, you should check it out. There's like a few places where you can get a free chart, and just start with strategy and authority and follow this. And this is telling, like this, it's going to tell you the way that your aura is meant to interact with the world around you, and the way that you're supposed to make decisions. and what you're supposed to do while you're not making the decision. um, and a lot of us are supposed to be waiting, but that's not the point of today. Let me get back to making choices and making decisions. So sometimes when we have a very small or a very big or a medium decision to make, often enough, we're going to have anxiety. Maybe we don't know we have anxiety. Anxiety is a normal emotion. It's not always a disorder. It's at the base of it all. It's connected to fear and survival. And so when you're making a decision, sometimes it can bring up fear and survival and anxiety. This is how it's going to show up. Sometimes, if you're not aware that you're having anxiety and you're trying to make a decision, and unbeknownst to you, bypassing your anxiety, your alarm system, you might feel pressure in the upper back and in your chest. This is the most common. And in the stomach, a lot of people feel it in the stomach. And this means that first and foremost, you have to address this anxiety. So, once you realize that you feel the pressure, you can sit and lean into the pressure, which seems easy or seems impossible. But you just close your eyes and you just, instead of running away from the fear, you go inside your body's sensations. And you go and you try to feel the pressure more and more. It sounds really counterintuitive, but it is the process for feeling anxiety is to try and feel. It's almost like, oh, okay, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to make it worse. Because once you do this and you feel the pressure, then your body is like, okay, she or he acknowledged me and she's not pushing the alarm system that I'm graciously creating for her, or, for her, I'm going to say her because I'm a her, for her. And so at that point, the body reaction or the manifestation of the anxiety and the fear and the alarm system in your body will slowly calm down. Sometimes it's very slow, sometimes it's immediate, depends probably on the size of the decision you have to make. But then, so you're in here, you're feeling the pressure, and you're like, okay, body, I want to feel that pressure at 100%. And you keep breathing, and you might start crying, or you might start, just tearing up. You might start panicking a little bit more. It's okay. Just relax. Sit with it. And then at some point, before the anxiety pressure is gonna let off, you're gonna feel something beside it or behind it, which will be a different emotion that comes behind it. And that emotion, when you identify it, it could be grief, anger, frustration, sadness, despair. Go look online for emotion code. They list a bunch of emotions there, and you can choose the one that what it is if you're having a hard time identifying it. And as soon as you touch it, okay, you might at first you might like be in the anxiety and then touch that second feeling, and then it's going to go away because it's too scary. You're going to come back to anxiety, and then so you just transition yourself slowly with self-love, you know, at the speed that you want to, inside this new feeling that you're scared of feeling. Just pause for a minute. And so, as soon as you are able to stay for longer periods of times inside that secondary feeling, now you can, I'm looking for the word. You can open yourself up to that feeling, feeling it. But also, there might be a story that comes up of like, oh my gosh, this is connected to something I know. This feeling was created the first times when I was little, when this was happening. And then usually it's supposed to be connected to the decision you're having anxiety about that you're not able to make right now. And so this gives you a ton of information about yourself, about the way that you were conditioned to respond to certain things and make decisions a certain way, because um, maybe when you were little, when you were making decisions, you were only paying attention to others and not yourself. You know, that's just one example. And so behind the anxiety, there's grief and sadness because you're so terrified of even making a decision that would be based on your needs. You're so terrified of the consequence of that you've pushed this aside. And now when you make decisions, you're not even aware that you're not considering yourself. And then the anxiety comes in, and you think you're making a decision between yes and no, or this and that. But really, that and this is on the outside. And now you're having to consider what you would do. And maybe the first time you realize this, you're going to say, well, okay, now that I'm aware of this, I'm so terrified because I'm not healed yet, right? From whatever happened over and over before. I'm so terrified that I'm not even able right now to already, right now, this time today, to consider myself in that decision that I have to make really soon. But at least now you're aware that you now can take responsibility for yourself and work by yourself or in therapy or with a friend or with your partner, whatever, somebody you trust, to be able to give yourself the space to process this and then take yourself in consideration in your decision making. And wow, I didn't. I was going to talk about that today. This is great. This is really useful stuff. So, this is what happens when you go inside your anxiety. You're going to find out that there's a ton of information behind it that you're not even aware. Maybe you are, maybe you're not. But when you become aware, that's a big part of the work's already done. Now you can work on the other stuff that's behind it. Okay. Thank you for that, guides. Is there anything else that we need to talk about today? Thank you for helping us today with this decision-making process with anxiety, and to be able to regulate our nervous system by looking into this anxiety, pressure feeling that we can have sometimes. And by doing this work, one thing at a time, one decision at a time, that we are becoming more and more regulated in our nervous system. And we are becoming more and more healthy and calm. On a day-to-day basis. Thank you for letting me share all of this with you. Thank you for helping me to figure out what to talk about today. Thank you. And just like always, we're receiving help from above and from below, to be able to process these things. And I believe that you can rewatch this video. I've never done timestamps before, but maybe I could start that to say like, okay, this is where the process is starting. If you want to just go back and redo that process. Or if you think that I should make a video with just processing this, let me know. I would be happy to do so. Is there anything else we need to talk about this morning? Yeah, I want to thank everybody for watching yesterday's video live. I'm very happy to be back live and doing videos for you, for myself. And I don't know. I can feel there's something, but I'm not sure yet. Um, yeah, I guess they're still telling me like, okay, well, thank them for watching yesterday's video. And all that I've shared about my journey yesterday. I feel like I need to share something, but I'm not sure what. Thank you for being clear with me. I mean, I don't know if there's resistance or not. It's possible. We all do. Um, Sometimes I have resistance to share stuff, and it's okay. The color white, I don't know. A little bit more, and then I'm gonna end the live if it's not coming to me right away. It's because it's not today. Okay, so they want me to share about or just talk about what's the name for this? That there's a lot of things going on, obviously, in the world and in smaller communities of humans. And there's going to be more and more coming. And when they say a lot of stuff going on, I believe they're talking about, conflicts rising, people fighting, arguing, um, and that's okay. And I think that the message is so when we observe, when we absorb, right? When we observe and absorb something going on between people online or in our lives. I'm using the word absorb because some of us absorb a lot, when we watch something or we read something or we see something going on. Um, and they're saying that it's extremely important for us to be able to process whatever that means to us, like the mirroring thing, like, oh, why am I seeing this? But also to release it. Once you've figured it out, you just release it and detach from it with compassion. And because, okay, so I'm hearing there's an arousal of positive or negative effects, right? So this is like on top of everything we have to go through and do in our lives. And it acts as like an extra layer of heaviness. And it's not like we have to stop watching or whatever. You do your own hygiene in your life, self-care, whatever you need to do. Um, but if you are confronted with stuff, which we always are in our life, we're going to need to really practice releasing after processing. Like, oh, this means this to me. This makes me feel like this. Like, you don't want to like deny that you're having an arousal of effects. You don't want to say, oh, I don't care about this. I don't care about we care about stuff. We're human beings. We're all connected. When something happens, we just do. Whether you care and it makes you angry, whether you care and it makes you sad or happy or excited too much or anxious, afraid, we're all affected. So, first of all, don't deny the reaction that you're having and your feelings. That's what I'm talking about. And then process it to a level where you feel extremely calm and relaxed. Feel it until I'm not talking about create a story around it with your mind. I'm talking about feeling the feeling, and you'll know like it echoes in your life. That's fine. But it's even if it triggers something inside of you, doesn't mean you got work to do at this point. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. As long as we're get to a resolution where we're able to, as long as it takes, get back to center and get back to neutrality. So there's a lot of stuff today. One of the things that they're telling me to talk about right now is that as human beings, as children of humanity, we have not, a lot of us have not learned how to resolve anything or have a resolution. So there's something that happens, and then you're like, push it down, or you just stay stuck or corded with a situation or a person. Well, now we don't have a choice. We need to resolve stuff. We need to have a resolution because everything that stresses you that is not resolved becomes a trauma, like mini traumas. But this is the definition of trauma. So you don't want to recreate traumas when you're grown up. That's crazy. But we don't know how to not do that. So, yeah, we need to teach ourselves. So, if you guys want to talk about this more in another video, just let me know in a comment. And I will. Please remind me what I have talked about so I can come back to it and we can work through it together. We can do a whole like session about it together. It's so you can come back and process everything you have to process and get resolution every time. And it's just like what we did earlier with anxiety and whatever the feeling was behind it about a decision. Well, you're processing it all the way to the point, not that you're better at making decision so much, but where you're not gaslighting yourself or not giving yourself resolution all the way to peace and satisfaction and whatever the good feeling you like to be in. So it could be peace for manifestors, it could be satisfaction for generators, feeling successful for a projector, and I can't remember what the feeling is for a reflector. I think excited or like curious, something like that. Anyway, or surprise or something like that. If you remember, you just tell me. Um, so I think that's it for today. And that was a lot of stuff, two big things. But mostly it's all about finally learning how to get resolution in your daily life. And yeah, that's it. That's all I have to say. And I thank you so much for watching. And I guess I'll see you on the next one. Remember, I can never promise when I'll be there next, but I will always come back. Love you so much and see you on the next one.